These are the cheapest new motorcycles each major brand has to offer, built to get you riding without breaking the bank. From stripped-down cruisers to lightweight street fighters, we're counting down 16 bikes that prove you don't need big money to ride with serious style, power, and attitude. Number 16. MV Agusta F3 Rosso. Italian motorcycles are known for passion, style, and performance, and this one delivers all three in a package that still qualifies as entry-level for the brand. The F3 Rosso might be the most affordable model in the MV Agusta family, carrying a price tag of $18,998. But don't let that fool you. This is a race-bred weapon draped in elegance. Its 798 cubic centimeter three-cylinder engine unleashes a screaming 147 horsepower and 64 pound-feet of torque that is serious power for a middleweight, and it feels every bit as thrilling as the numbers suggest. The bike's dry weight is just 381 pounds, giving it a razor-sharp power-to-weight ratio. Built around a steel trellis frame, the F3 Rosso is equipped with fully adjustable Marsocchi 43-inch front forks and a Sachs rear monoshock. Braking is top tier, with dual front Brembo 4-piston radial calipers gripping floating discs and a rear Brembo single-piston caliper. The system is supported by a Continental cornering anti-lock braking system, offering track-level safety on the street. With aggressive fairings, premium switchgear, and a snarling exhaust note, this motorcycle looks and sounds every bit like a superbike. But underneath all that attitude is a refined chassis that rewards precision and punishes hesitation. It is a demanding ride, but an unforgettable one. From high-strung Italian artistry to American iron with a fresh twist, the next bike trades revs for rumble and style for soul. Number 15. Harley-Davidson Nightster. Harley-Davidson took a bold leap forward with this model, blending their classic silhouette with modern engineering. This is no throwback, it's a rebirth. Priced at $13,499, it offers the most affordable entry into Harley's modern lineup. At its heart is the Revolution Max 975 engine, a liquid-cooled V-twin that produces 90 horsepower and 70 pound-feet of torque. With an engine displacement of 1,252 cubic centimeters, the performance is smooth, responsive, and surprisingly refined for something wearing the bar and shield. The Nightster weighs in at 481 pounds, which makes it one of the most nimble cruisers in Harley's current lineup. Suspension up front is handled by Showa dual-bending valve front forks, while the rear features twin outboard coil-over emulsion shocks with 5-step preload adjustability. It's a setup built for comfort and responsiveness, giving riders a confident feel both around town and on open stretches of road. Stopping is just as controlled thanks to a 4-piston front caliper clamping down on a single rotor paired with a single-piston rear caliper. Anti-lock braking is standard and integrated cleanly into the ride system. Styling stays true to the brand's stripped-down ethos, with minimal bodywork, blacked-out finishes, and a solo seat that puts the rider right in the action. But if you want all that American spirit with a slightly softer price tag, the next model cuts the cost without cutting the torque. Number 14. Indian Scout 60. Blending classic lines with a more approachable platform, this model delivers authentic American cruiser style in a slightly scaled-back format. Designed for riders who want power without excess, it lands right in the sweet spot, offering comfort, heritage, and usability. Priced at $10,749, it remains one of the most accessible entry points into the Indian lineup. Underneath the sheet metal sits a liquid-cooled V-twin engine measuring 1,000 cubic centimeters, producing 78 horsepower and 65 pound-feet of torque. It weighs 545 pounds, which gives it solid road presence while still remaining nimble enough for newer riders or those looking for a chill weekend cruiser. Suspension duties are handled by traditional telescopic front forks and dual rear shocks, just enough to smooth out potholes without compromising handling. Brakes include a single front disc with a 2-piston caliper and a single rear disc with a single piston caliper, both supported by anti-lock braking for added security. With mid-mounted foot controls, a 25-inch low-slung solo seat, and neutral riding posture, comfort is baked in. The finish leans modern, with blacked-out engine cases, cut fenders, and a streamlined tank that quietly echoes Indian's historical roots. It's a true American cruiser, just without the intimidating bulk or price tag. Now that we've covered American cruiser charm at a more manageable size, let's cross the ocean to see what one of Britain's most legendary motorcycle brands is offering in the middleweight category. Number 13, Triumph Trident 660. British engineering meets entry-level accessibility in this middleweight naked bike designed to bring triple-cylinder performance to a whole new audience. With a starting price of $8,595, it's one of the most affordable ways to own a brand new Triumph. Power comes from a liquid-cooled inline-3 engine displacing 660 cubic centimeters. It delivers 80 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque, plenty of punch for daily rides or spirited weekend sessions. The chassis keeps things light and responsive with a wet weight of just over 416 pounds. Suspension features show a separate function upside-down front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. Braking is handled by Nissin dual-piston front calipers mounted to dual front discs and a single-piston rear caliper, all controlled through a Bosch anti-lock braking system for steady, predictable stops. What makes this model shine is its balance between practicality and performance. The upright bars, narrow seat, and comfortable ergonomics give it commuter appeal, while the aggressive engine note and flickable handling make it track-capable if you want to push it. A modern digital display, ride-by-wire throttle, and multiple ride modes round out a spec sheet that punches above its weight class. The British may have nailed the everyday naked bike, but the next entry takes Italian heritage and wraps it in old-school styling, with more tech under the tank than you'd ever expect. We sorted through every brand's specs and pricing so you don't have to. If that helps, hit subscribe. Number 12, Ducati Scrambler Icon. There's a reason this bike has earned a cult following. It blends classic Italian styling with just enough performance and modern tech to satisfy both beginners and seasoned riders. Carrying a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $10,995, it remains one of the most stylish entry points into Ducati ownership. At the core is an air-cooled L-twin engine displacing 803 cubic centimeters. It generates 73 horsepower and 48 pound-feet of torque, more than enough for fun daily use without being intimidating. Despite its retro appearance, the Scrambler Icon is no bare-bones machine. It features a full-color digital display, ride-by-wire throttle, cornering anti-lock braking, traction control, and a bi-directional quick shifter. The 6-speed transmission offers crisp shifts, and the light clutch pull makes low-speed handling a breeze. Kawasaki handles suspension duties with 41-inch front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock offering a balanced, comfortable ride. Braking is courtesy of a front 4-piston Brembo caliper clamping down on a 330-inch disc, while the rear uses a single-piston caliper, both supported by cornering anti-lock braking. The dry weight comes in at just 375 pounds, giving it an agile, lightweight character that's perfect for carving through traffic or enjoying scenic routes. Extra features like aluminum trim, LED lighting, and a minimalist tank design bring modern touches to its vintage bones. While this one turns heads with its vintage charm, the next Italian contender dials up the power and doesn't flinch. Number 11, Aprilia Tuono 660. This machine brings race-bred DNA to the street in a package that is lightweight, powerful, and surprisingly approachable. At a price point of $10,695, the Tuono 660 delivers real sport bike performance without the full superbike commitment. Under the tank sits a liquid-cooled parallel twin engine with a displacement of 659 cubic centimeters, generating 100 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque. Dry weight is just 395 pounds, giving it a power-to-weight ratio that commands respect. The chassis is a twin-spar aluminum frame built for precision and agility. Suspension components include fully adjustable 41-inch Kawasaki front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. The braking system is equally aggressive, featuring dual front discs clamped by radial-mounted 4-piston Brembo calipers and a single rear disc with a Brembo single-piston setup. All of it is governed by cornering anti-lock braking and multiple multi-level traction control. What really elevates the Tuono is its rider-focused technology suite. It includes a full-color TFT dash, selectable ride modes, cruise control, and a standard quick shifter for seamless gear changes. Ergonomics are upright yet sporty, with wide handlebars and a well-balanced seating position that offers comfort for daily commuting and stability during spirited canyon runs. This is a motorcycle that doesn't compromise, designed for riders who crave performance but still want something usable on real roads. From futuristic speed to timeless tradition, the next bike shows that old-school engineering still has a place, especially when done the Italian way. Number 10. Moto Guzzi V7 Stone. This motorcycle carries the kind of presence that only decades of heritage can deliver. It combines stripped-down roadster simplicity with a sideways-mounted engine that defines the Moto Guzzi identity. Priced at $9,190, the V7 Stone offers old-school authenticity with just enough modern refinement to make it practical. Powering this timeless cruiser is a transverse VE twin engine displacing 853 cubic centimeters. It delivers 65 horsepower and 53 pound-feet of torque, giving it laid-back torque and smooth cruising power that perfectly matches its character. Weighing in at 418 pounds dry, the V7 Stone hits that sweet spot between stability and agility. The suspension system features 40-inch hydraulic telescopic front forks and dual rear shocks with spring preload adjustability. Tuned more for comfort than cornering but capable on twisty roads. Braking is handled by a front Brembo 4-piston caliper biting into a 320-inch disc, while the rear uses a floating 2-piston caliper on a 260-inch disc. Dual-channel anti-lock braking keeps things safe and consistent across all conditions. Visually, the V7 Stone leans into its heritage. A matte finish on the tank, cast aluminum wheels, and a round LED headlight with a daytime halo ring give it a rugged minimalist presence. The next ride couldn't be more different. It's loud, chaotic, and built for antics, because the clown of the motorcycle world is about to roll in. Number 9. Honda Grom 125. This is the motorcycle that dared to shrink everything down and somehow became a cultural icon. At a starting price of $3,499, the Grom proves that fun doesn't need a big engine or a big wallet. It's powered by a single-cylinder, air-cooled engine with a displacement of 125 cubic centimeters. It makes 9 horsepower and 8 pound-feet of torque, which might not sound like much until you ride it. Weighing just 227 pounds, the Grom feels more like a toy than a tool. The suspension includes 31-inch telescopic front forks and a single rear shock paired to a steel swing arm. Braking is handled by a 2-piston hydraulic front caliper on a 220-inch disc and a rear disc with single-piston caliper with anti-lock braking available on select trims. It's tiny, twitchy, and wildly maneuverable, ideal for slicing through traffic or carving up parking lots. What truly sets the Grom apart is its tunability and cult-like following. Owners deck these bikes out with everything from stunt cages and neon kits to full engine swaps. It's a gateway to the wild side of motorcycling with just enough structure to keep things street legal. Whether you're a new rider, seasoned hooligan, or weekend goofball, the Grom delivers on its promise. Pure fun. But if this bike lives to be chaotic, the next one tries to act responsible, while borrowing more than it's willing to admit. Number 8. Kawasaki Z 125 Pro. This pocket-sized street fighter delivers exactly what new and returning riders want. Lightweight, simplicity, and genuine fun without breaking the bank. Offered at a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $3,399, the Z125 Pro is Kawasaki's direct answer to the Grom, and it holds its own. It features a single-cylinder air-cooled engine with a displacement of 125 cubic centimeters, putting out 9 horsepower and 7 pound-feet of torque. That may sound minimal, but in real-world use, it's more than enough to zip through neighborhoods or sneak around city traffic. Weighing only 224 pounds wet, it's one of the lightest motorcycles on the market. That ultra-low mass makes it feel incredibly nimble in tight turns and parking lots. Suspension includes 30-inch inverted front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. Braking is straightforward and reliable with a single front disc using a 2-piston caliper and a rear disc paired with a single piston caliper. Ideal for keeping things in check without overkill. The Z125 Pro rolls on compact 12-inch wheels, features a clean digital instrument display, and runs through a 4-speed manual transmission that's smooth and easy to engage. If you're looking for a small but capable machine that offers big city fun with beginner-friendly vibes, this one hits the mark. But if you want something that looks and feels more like a full-size sport bike without breaking $5,000, the next bike might be what you're after. Number 7. Suzuki GSX250 R. This is a motorcycle that borrows a big name but scales everything down to meet real-world needs. The GSX250R carries a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $4,999 and offers the sport bike experience in a package designed for accessibility. At the core is a liquid-cooled twin-cylinder engine displacing 248 cubic centimeters, generating 25 horsepower and 17 pound-feet of torque. The delivery is smooth and gradual, perfect for highway commutes and confidence building in twisty roads. Curb weight stands at 392 pounds, striking a great balance between stability and flickability. It's heavy enough to feel substantial, yet light enough for low-speed maneuvering. Suspension includes a telescopic front fork and a link-style rear shock, both tuned for everyday comfort rather than high-performance carving. Braking duties are handled by single-disc setups on both ends, with dual-piston calipers up front and a single-piston caliper in the rear. While it lacks cornering electronics or ride modes, that stripped-down approach keeps the focus on riding. The bike's full fairings, low-slung profile, and 6-speed gearbox make it look and feel like a larger displacement GSX. The clutch is light, throttle response is predictable, and the overall ergonomics lean more toward relaxed than aggressive. If this one feels like it was teleported straight from the early 2000s, hang tight, because our next entry hasn't changed much in spirit since then either, and that's exactly what makes it stand out. Number 6. Yamaha V Star 250. For riders who remember the golden age of cruisers, this machine brings all the right vibes, just scaled down for the modern world. At a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $4,699, the V Star 250 is one of the few remaining bikes that still embraces a traditional cruiser look at an entry-level price. It's powered by an air-cooled V-twin engine with a displacement of 249 cubic centimeters, delivering 21 horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque. It's not built for speed, it's built for confidence and comfort. Tipping the scales at 325 pounds dry, the V Star is exceptionally easy to maneuver. It features a low 27-inch seat height, making it especially welcoming for shorter riders or those just getting their feet wet. The suspension setup includes conventional front forks and dual rear shocks with preload adjustability, offering a plush ride over city streets or rural 2-lane roads. Up front, there's a single disc brake with a 2-piston caliper, and in the back, a traditional drum brake. A combination that's simple, reliable, and easy to service. Styling-wise, it sticks to the cruiser playbook with a teardrop gas tank, full fenders, plenty of chrome accents, and a relaxed, upright posture. It's basic, it's bulletproof, and it has trained more riders than it'll ever get credit for. But if you're ready to trade nostalgia for sharper handling and urban speed, the next bike has all the attitude of a street fighter, without the weight. Number 5. KTM Duke 200. This is what happens when you take aggressive styling, lightweight engineering, and beginner-focused performance and blend them into a compact urban weapon. Priced at $4,199, the Duke 200 is KTM's smallest street fighter. But don't let that fool you. At its heart is a liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine with a displacement of 199 cubic centimeters. It cranks out 26 horsepower and 14 pound-feet of torque, giving you just enough punch to stay ahead of traffic without ever feeling overwhelmed. Dry weight is just 310 pounds, making it one of the lightest full-size motorcycles you can buy. This bike's upright ergonomics and narrow body make it perfect for weaving through tight city streets. The suspension is sharp and responsive, featuring inverted front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock, ideal for navigating potholes or slicing through fast corners. Braking is handled by a front disc with a 4-piston caliper and a rear disc with a single-piston unit, all backed by dual-channel anti-lock braking for added confidence. The Duke's design pulls no punches. Sharp body lines, an exposed steel trellis frame, LED lighting, and a digital dash give it the feel of a much more expensive motorcycle. Even more impressive, it includes features like a slipper clutch and cast aluminum wheels, components rarely seen in this price range. And just when you thought KTM's wild side peaked here, the next bike brings that energy with a whole different attitude and a neo-retro twist. Number 4. Husqvarna Svartpilen 401. It's rare to find a beginner-friendly motorcycle that turns heads for its design alone, but this one does exactly that. The Husqvarna Svartpilen 401 carries a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $5,649 and offers a unique blend of premium components, urban capability, and rugged styling. Its minimalist industrial look comes straight from Scandinavian design playbooks, but under that clean exterior is a surprisingly potent performer. A liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine displacing 373 cubic centimeters produces 44 horsepower and 27 pound-feet of torque. That's plenty to keep things interesting in both city and canyon riding. It tips the scales at just 335 pounds dry, giving it exceptional agility in traffic and confidence in corners. The suspension setup includes WP Apex 43-inch inverted front forks and a preload adjustable WP rear monoshock, tuned for responsive urban riding. Braking is solid and safe with a 4-piston caliper on a 320-inch front disc and a single-piston caliper on a 230-inch rear disc, both backed by Bosch dual-channel anti-lock braking. Other highlights include a 6-speed transmission, a slipper clutch for smoother downshifting, full LED lighting, and a digital display that delivers clear, minimalist readouts. Its upright ergonomics and dual sport-inspired tires allow it to tackle broken pavement, city shortcuts, and occasional dirt paths without skipping a beat. This isn't just entry-level transportation, it's a statement on wheels. But for those who prefer Teutonic precision over Nordic flair, the next bike trades minimalism for mastery with a legendary badge to match. Number 3. BMW G310R. Carrying a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $4,995, the BMW G310R proves that the iconic roundel doesn't just belong on expensive touring machines and high-powered sport bikes. This compact roadster is purpose-built for accessibility, comfort, and control, all without compromising on the refined engineering the brand is known for. It's powered by a liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine with a displacement of 313 cubic centimeters, producing 34 horsepower and 20 pound-feet of torque. That's enough to handle highway speeds with ease while still being forgiving for newer riders. Weighing in at 349 pounds dry, the G310R is balanced, predictable, and incredibly easy to maneuver. Suspension includes 41-inch upside-down telescopic front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock tuned for a smooth ride on varying road conditions. Braking is handled by a 4-piston radial mount caliper clamping a 300-inch front disc and a single-piston caliper on a 240-inch rear disc, all supported by a dual-channel Bosch anti-lock braking system. Riders get a 6-speed transmission and upright ergonomics that reduce fatigue over long distances. LED lights, cast aluminum wheels, and high-quality controls come standard, features rarely found in this price range. The digital instrument cluster is simple yet functional, showing all the vital info in a clean layout. It's lightweight, it's composed, and it carries one of the most respected names in the industry. From German efficiency to retro-styled American muscle, the next machine trades refinement for raw road presence. Number 2. Royal Enfield Classic 350. Some motorcycles are built to chase the future. This one is built to honor the past. The Classic 350 brings timeless design back to life with clean lines, spoked wheels, and a teardrop tank that looks straight out of the 1950s. But beneath that vintage silhouette is a surprisingly modern machine. At the core is a single-cylinder air-cooled engine with a displacement of 349 cubic centimeters. It delivers 20 horsepower and 20 pound-feet of torque, enough for relaxed highway cruising or winding back roads without feeling underpowered. The bike tips the scales at 430 pounds, making it stable yet maneuverable. Suspension is handled by a pair of 41-inch front forks and twin gas-charged rear shocks with adjustable preload. Braking comes from a front 2-piston caliper with a 300-inch disc and a rear single-piston caliper with a 270-inch disc. Dual-channel anti-lock braking comes standard, giving riders added peace of mind when conditions turn unpredictable. Styling details like analog-style gauges with a digital inset, retro switchgear, and a deeply padded solo saddle bring real charm to the riding experience. With a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $4,595, this bike delivers genuine heritage and mechanical honesty for less than most modern scooters. From vintage steel and single-cylinder sole, we now arrive at the absolute bottom of the pricing chart, but not the bottom in value. Number 1. CF Moto 300 NK. This is what happens when a motorcycle punches far above its weight class, both in performance and value. The CF Moto 300 NK is officially the least expensive motorcycle from any major manufacturer, with a manufacturer's suggested retail price of just $3,999. But what you get for that money is anything but entry level. It's powered by a liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine with a displacement of 292 cubic centimeters, putting out 27 horsepower and 18 pound-feet of torque, more than enough for urban commutes and backroad play. Weighing only 351 pounds, this bike offers feather-light handling and nimble city performance. The suspension setup includes upside-down front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock, offering surprising responsiveness and road feel. Braking is handled by a single front disc with a radial mount caliper and a rear disc system, both equipped with dual-channel anti-lock braking to help maintain control under pressure. What really sets this machine apart is the spec sheet. Full LED lighting, a digital instrument cluster, Street Fighter bodywork, alloy wheels, and even a sculpted tank that looks like it belongs on a much pricier model. You also get a 6-speed transmission, responsive throttle feel, and ergonomics designed for comfort and agility. This is not just the cheapest motorcycle on the list. It's one of the most impressive when it comes to value for money. Entry level doesn't mean compromise here. It means opportunity, especially for riders looking to stretch every dollar without sacrificing design or capability. That's the full list. Drop a comment with your pick, and if this helped, like and subscribe for more videos like this.